Aita for setting up my ex-husband look like a bad father? I'll keep this short. When my ex's daughter, Megan, was turning 13, she wanted a tiered Harry Potter cake. She loves the movies. She was very specific in what she wanted. I told her as gently as I could that I didn't think we'd be able to afford that. And my ex took that opportunity to be the fun parent and said in a doting voice, "Oh baby, don't worry. Daddy will get you your cake." She was all smiles and ran off to get her bags. I told him if he was going to promise this to order it early, 'cause bakeries require advance order. He got all huffy and said he knew what the fuck he was doing and I should mind my business. I said anything involving our daughter is my business. He said he didn't need my help, and I should just handle the birthday party and he'd get the cake. I said okay, then they left for the weekend. I know my ex. He puts things off that aren't about him. I knew he was going to forget to order. Usually I'd pester him so he wouldn't forget, but he said he didn't need my help, so I decided to not bring it up unless he did. But I did call a friend I have who started decorating cakes to order the cake from her. It cost a bit more than I'd have liked, but not as much as I'd been worried it would. Well, he never brought the cake up again. At least not until the day before her birthday, where he called me, frantic. He forgot to order the cake, and now none of the bakeries will take his order without tacking on a massive fee, 'cause there's no way they can have the cake ready unless they focus their full staff on one cake. I was going to tell him not to worry. I ordered the cake for him. But then he says, "Why didn't you remind me?" I just snapped and said he needed to figure this out and he better have a cake tomorrow. Then I hung up. He brought a cake, a plain white sheet cake with red trim and one of those print-out sugar decals on the front of Harry Potter and his two friends, and a wax 11 candle. She was turning 13. He revealed the cake during her party, so everyone was sitting quiet and Megan looked heartbroken and tried to be nice, but she asked what happened to the cake she wanted. X floundered and I let him for a few seconds before laughing, "Haha, just kidding." And then I went and pulled the cake I ordered from the kitchen. Megan lit up and everyone laughed, and it was just one huge joke and the rest of the party went great. But after everyone went home and Megan was in her room, X tried to lay into me about humiliating him and letting him look like a bad father, and I told him the only one who made him look bad was him. I think I was justified, but some mutual friends think I should have just told him I got the cake to keep things civil between us. AITA. Edit. I never told Megan or even planned to tell her. Not until she was older maybe. But she started acting very chilly to X for a long while after her birthday party, and when he asked her why, she admitted to almost walking into the kitchen when he and I were whisper arguing the night of her birthday. She found out he'd completely forgotten to order the cake, and the joke cake was actually the real cake he got her, so she was very cross with him for a long time afterwards. Attitude to everyone thinking I purposefully waited to have him reveal the joke cake before showing the cake I ordered. I didn't. I'd planned on pulling him aside before the party and letting him know I just went ahead and ordered a cake for him. Then we'd taken the big cake and leave whatever he brought in the kitchen. But he showed up after all the guests had arrived, so I didn't have time to grab him before he set a sheet cake box on the dining room table where everyone saw it, and I knew everyone would notice us taking his short pink box into the kitchen and coming back out with a taller white one. I thought on my toes. NTA. It sounds like to everyone on the outside that you two were in on it and just teasing your daughter. He's the only one that had to sit there and shit his pants because he fucked up. He should have dropped to his knees and thanked you and asked how much he owed you for the damned cake. NTA. Dude was seriously embarrassed that his poor behavior was so easy to predict that you had a contingency plan. Your friends are wrong, but they are coming from a place of sympathy for their friend. and because they want to keep peace in the friend group. It's understandable, but still wrong. Good for you, mama. NTA. You actually saved him from looking like a bad father. Putting that in quotes because he doesn't look like one. He is one. By having the cake she wanted ready and making it look like his shitty contribution was just a joke. I'm extremely glad that this man is your ex and that you are there to be a real parent to your daughter. NTA. Your ex set himself up to fail. You just made sure that your daughter's birthday didn't become a sacrifice to his grand gestures and ego. Prior preparation and planning prevents piss-poor performance. You planned ahead. Your ex didn't. Your daughter was happy and that's what matters in this scenario. NTA. And people need to stop excusing deadbeat fathers for their bad time management. You saved the day because you knew how he was. It's not your job to keep holding his hand while he keeps on acting as if you're the bad guy. Sounds like he's used to you saving his ass. Maybe next time, let him fail. He exposed himself and sounds like your friends need to stop making excuses for him. NTA. Guy makes a promise. He needs to keep it. You didn't set him up. He did. It's blatant why he's the ex. And WTF is civil between you two supposed to mean? I was going to tell him not to worry. I ordered the cake for him. But then he says, why didn't you remind me? Quote, because presumably you're an adult who can keep track of what you said you'll do. I have ADHD. I write that shit down and put it in the calendar so I don't have to remember. NTA. What got me was him forgetting his child's age. Even I remembered she was turning 13 before you mentioned it. NTA. Not your job to save his ass or remind him of anything. He's an adult. You were preventing your kid from seeing what a disorganized mess he is at least for a while. NTA. You planned for your daughter knowing he'd screw it up, and you saved him in the end by making it a joke. You're a good parent as those things are directly for your child and not to screw him over. The added benefit of him getting bent was just gravy. NTA. You might have set him up to beat the in his mind, but you saved the day for your daughter. She would have been absolutely devastated with that other cake. NTA. He got all huffy and said he knew what the fuck he was doing and I should mind my business. You were just doing what he asked. He humiliated himself. Your mutual friends. Why is the onus on you to keep things civil between you? Why aren't they questioning his behavior? Absolutely NTA. You went above and beyond. So far beyond that he didn't even have to own his fuck up. You were kinder than you had to be while also still letting him learn the lesson. My vote would be different if you hadn't played it off like a prank on your daughter. NTA. The only one who knows that your ex failed is your ex. Unless he brings it up, the way you set it up, it could be perceived as a mutually agreed upon gag. He felt embarrassed, as he should have, but only to himself. I kind of love this petty revenge story. NTA. Dude humiliated himself. Did he ever reimburse you for the cake that you bought? NTA. He says, why didn't you remind me? Repeat these words, I'm no longer married to you. NTA. And I would tell him that you would not be reminding him anymore about anything, so he needs to grow up or face the humiliation. NTA. I just can't imagine why he's your ex-husband. NTA. He got what was coming to him. Maybe you won't be such a dick next time. Info. Does the daughter think he bought the cake or that you bought the cake? Was she disappointed with him for not getting the cake he wanted? Definitely NTA, and I agree with the comment saying you actually saved him a bit of humiliation and, had she not overheard your daughter, the heartbreak. Yes. You could have told him up front that you had gotten a cake, but why should you? He made a promise that you weren't on board with, which he didn't keep. He should be grateful to you, but more importantly, absolutely ashamed that you knew that he is unreliable and that his promises are empty. So much so that he couldn't even get a cake for his daughter's birthday. You handled it the way you should. It is not your job to save face for him. Him feeling embarrassed is justified. He absolutely should. But what really gets on my nerves is that not only did he not keep his promise, his lousy last-minute solution cake had candles with a wrong age on it. He does not even know how old his daughter is. To say that I feel bad for your daughter for having such an incompetent, selfish, uninvolved and non-caring father is an understatement. No matter how much of a kick-ass mother you are, her dad is going to break her heart over and over again, which will and probably already is impacting her deeply. I hope that doesn't hurt your feelings, but I can't stress how angry I am about the candle thing. I wanted to make a candle instead of cherry on top of the cake, but I'm too angry for jokes.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.